It's a good day to be a Boss GX100 owner. Back in July, the GT1000 and the GT1000Core got a firmware update, which is really significant because this hasn't been something that Boss have done too much of over the life of these units. Now, the firmware update adds 3 high-gain Boss amp types, the Ultra, the Optima and the Titan, as well as 2 Boss drive pedals, which of course are legendary, the SD1, one of these guys, and the DS1. But as well, for bass players, good news, we got the studio bass, the silver tube, classic blue, solid stack, fat tube and dark drive. So 6 new bass amps. As well, they've added a couple of integrations with Katana in the output mode, so you can set this to be output to kind of the Katana Gen 3 and all that sort of stuff. Let's jump in. I'm going to show you some tones through it now, and yeah, a good day to be a Boss owner. Boss is sponsoring this video, by the way, but the first one back in July they didn't. I was just really excited to see that Boss are doing this kind of updating a hardware thing. I think we take it for granted somewhat that this is a thing that companies kind of do these days, but I do think it takes significant expense, significant resources, and so when companies do start doing this, I think we should at least, you know, give them some props and say thank you for doing this for you users. This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Hold down the right button, turn it on, update. Cool, right. I think what we need to do is drag 2 bin files onto the GX100, then unmount it, eject, and then it hopefully does this writing thing. We should be updated. First time seeing it with you, version 2.0. Exciting stuff. Come on, Boss. Right. Okay, so I wanted to show you some bits and pieces. So we got a few new presets showing off the new stuff. I'll just quickly show you some of that stuff. But for instance, this dual X lead I thought has pretty cool sound. It's using 2 of the new amps, the X Optima and the Titan. Okay, we've got the slicer in here now as well, so Okay, and then obviously you got like the OPTIMA, they've made some presets with this as well. Okay, so there's 5 new effects from Boss: Slicer, Humanizer, Sitar Sim, Autowah and Feedbacker. So I'm going to build a bit of a preset using some of these elements. We'll take a look quickly at the high gain amps. Just keep it really straightforward. Just amp. So amp, we'll go with the Ultra at first. And I'm going to put up on screen what the Ultra is. And speakers type, we'll use the original as well, but... Again, don't be afraid to use these switches to get a very differently responding amp. So that's Ultra, go for the OPTIMA. The whole idea with this MDP stuff is that basically it processes different frequencies of the guitar in a different way. Kind of give these, I guess, optimal vibe. That's OPTIMA. Okay, and Titan. Nice. So that's kind of the amps covered more or less, as well as the bass amps. Obviously, you don't need me to go into those here, except there is something to say for those that they're not just necessary for bass guitars. If you're a guitarist, I think you might also dig, in particular, the Silver. So this is based on a Silverface Bassman 100, which I've played in real life, and it's actually a really cool amp. If we up the gain on it, we get this really big, bold... And then it can also take pedals quite well. You see, actually, I've paired it with just a normal guitar speaker. We've got the gain switch in the middle. You could up that to the high. And that's another kind of awesome thing about the Boss amps, that you can kind of modify them as you go. I've got the speaker mic type set to flat. There's some new mic types in the guitar amps, and also if you just add an overdrive, or the new SD1. So definitely worth checking out. Now let's use a bit of a cleaner. Check out some of these elements. Slicer, obviously, that's like something like a bit of a trem type vibe. You could obviously program that to a switch. Where's our sitar? Get over here, sitar. So when you're starting executing overwrite, yes. It might be best to maybe turn off the amp even for this. We've also got the feedbacker. We drag that here instead. Execute and overwrite. So this is going to do, hopefully, nice, right. You might want to use this beat to like a more of a gained up amp. And you might program your switch to turn on or off that trigger. another interesting effect. We've got Autowah as well. So this would be like an automatic instead of like an envelope. It's a low pass or high pass. We've also got a Humanizer, which can kind of do a okay, and as well as that, we've also added in the DS1 Legendary, obviously, here for those kind of classic hard clipping tones. And the OD section has the SD one now, which is a great sounding drive. So very good news for Boss users. Go and download it, check it out. You've got the IR loader up here as well, so you can load in your own IRs. I think there's a lot about this firmware to like, and it'd be great to see more of this stuff from Boss. Cheers for stopping by.